you beautiful rock stars? Jim Chandler with Rock Your Best Vocals. Today we're going to talk about how to sing like Jim Morrison, or more so, how I like to sing like Jim Morrison. Because when I talk about these, I talk about how I try to get the sound of the original artist, because I'm a professional singer and I sing this in one of my rock bands. And I try to get as authentic of a sound to sound like Jim Morrison. Now, sometimes I probably think I sound like Jim Morrison more than I actually do, but I try to embody that because I think it makes the song a bit more authentic in terms of like trying to sound like that artist. It's like just like adding the tone to your guitar or whatever, like adding a delay or whatever. If you're going to play Sweet Child of Mine, you're going to play it clean, you're going to play it with wah, right? That's the idea. Anyway, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up some isolated vocal tracks from some of my favorite songs, and then we're just going to go through those, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of how I try to get Jim Morrison sound. Okay, so what sparked all this is because December 8th, which is not too long ago, was his birthday, and he died in July 3rd of 1971, the year I was born. But how I know all these cool facts is because I was like looking through this book the other day, and it was just on my shelf, and I just pulled it down. I just started reading through it, and their career was quite short. Jim Morrison was only writing poetry, wasn't even in a band in 1965, and got the band together in 1966. And then they got signed in 1967 to Elektra Records. And then, let's see, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. And then he died 4 years later. All the albums that they put out and all the things that they did and the impact that this guy had on rock and roll and my life, it was amazing in such a short space of time. One of my best friends of all time, probably my best ever friend, was crazy into the Doors, and that's what got me into the Doors. I didn't really like him growing up that much, but that got me into it. It was like I didn't really like the music, I didn't like his voice, but when I watched him perform live at the Hollywood Bowl, if you can watch that, Jim is an incredible performer. And I read a book called No One Here Gets Out Alive, and I was just fascinated with the guy's life. Anyway, so without all of that, but without even more ado than there was already, let's listen to some of these songs. First of all, we're going to listen to L.A. Woman.
Well, I did got in down about an hour ago. I took a look around, say, wait a wind blow. With a little girl in a Hollywood bungalow. Are you a lucky little lady in the city of light? Or did another lost angel? City of night, city of night, city of night.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull I'll comment on kind of that up to that point is his pronunciation of things was fairly lax. Well, I did about an hour ago. Took a look around to which way the wind blow. He kind of kept it really loose. Hit a little girl in a Hollywood bungalow. And just kind of really relaxed, kind of a very bluesy sound. The other thing about what I find is he's got a fairly low laryngeal position. Hey, a little girl in a Hollywood bungalow. How you a lucky... And he did often... How you a lucky little lady in the city of light? Huh. He'd start off with a little bit of... Huh. And you could hear on those... Oh, just another lost angel. He'd let out... So he had good compression. He wasn't a trained singer, but he had good compression because at the end of the line, you can hear him. Let's just go back to those.
City of night, lost angel. City of night, city of night,
city of night. And he's leaving that kind of city of night. It's like compressing and then at the end, releasing.
City of night, city of night, whoa, come on!
And he had a very good grasp of how to get distortion in his voice. City of night, night,
city of night, whoa, come on!
City of night, woo, come on! Very high up there. Even I didn't even get that high, but like for such a low voice, he could really he could access this really incredible high scream.
LA woman Sunday afternoon.
LA woman Sunday afternoon. Just not even really pronouncing that.
LA woman Sunday afternoon. Drive through your suburbs into your blues. Into your blues, yeah. Into your blue, blue, blue. Into your blues. Oh, yeah.
Wow, that is high. He's getting way up there. Yeah.
I see your hair is burning. Hills are filled with fire.
Hills. I always think of Jim Morrison. He's got that. Hills are filled with fire. He wasn't afraid to kind of get that kind of crackiness. That hills are filled with fire. I think he did push a good bit of air, not a massive amount of air, but he did push air up through the nasal cavity and get that false chord scream a lot. I think he just had that natural ability to do that. I don't know how he figured that out, but hills are filled with fire. You could hear that. Hills are filled with fire.
If they say I never loved you, you know they are a liar.
He had the ability to get such good dynamics. You know they are a liar. He could back off. It comes on very strong with good closure of the chords. They are a liar. And backs off to get a little breathy. It's amazing.
Driving down your freeway.
Right there with that. Driving down your freeway. Get that good gravelly part of his voice. He just had good access to so many different dynamics and different techniques without really ever training. It's amazing that he never trained as a singer. He just had a natural ability to command such incredible sounds from his voice. It's amazing. Okay, let's move on to Riders on the Storm. This is, I think, is a quintessential sound of Jim Morrison with that low laryngeal position. And you'll hear that. The low laryngeal position is just, basically you can achieve that by doing a yawn. And if you listen to him speak, well, he talks a little bit like this, and he's pretty laid back and quite breathy and soft in his speaking. Now, that's probably not exactly like him. So if you're thinking, hey, man, that doesn't sound exact, then, relax, man. Relax your fingertips on the keyboard, my friend.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan. Riders on the storm.
I always think of Jim Morrison's voice as kind of a breathy, airy, but also he would ease in and out of that chord closure so well. Riders on the storm, and into this house we're born. You hear that kind of, And into this house we're born. When I think of trying to sound like Jim Morrison myself. Into this world we're thrown, like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan, riders on the storm. Just, kind of getting that little breathy slide into a good chord closure, a good powerful punch at the end. It kind of sneaks up on you.
There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday and let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road, yeah.
Yeah, listen to that, just that. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road. Yeah. Just really soft yet powerful. It's just such a great combination. Okay, now let's move to Break On Through. I think this is a really good song. You get really good distortions and things like that in this song.
You know the day destroys the night. Night divides the day. Tried to run, tried to hide. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side, yeah.
Break on through to the other side. Break. So the way you get that is just kind of to think of a buzzer. And then just lower it down. Break on through. So lowering the laryngeal will be if you go that's higher laryngeal position. Break on through. Break on through to the other side. Break on. Just by lowering the larynx, by kind of more thinking about a yawn, like a break on through to the other side, as opposed to high larynx. Break on through to the other side. It's wide spectrum, and it's just, anyway, laugh at that. Who cares?
We chased our pleasures here, dug our treasures there. Or can you still recall time we cried? Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side.
Okay, I want to go back to that because you can hear he's kind of like a break on through. It's almost like his voice is kind of worn out a bit, or fatigued in a way, because you can hear that. Do you still recall time we cried? Time we cried.
To the other, dug our treasures there. Or can you still recall time we cried?
Can you still recall time we cried? Time we cried. So I always think of when I'm doing kind of this song or something similar with Jim Morrison, kind of almost like a little bit of whiny. Hell, recall time we cried. Break on through. Like if you think of like kind of a whiny sound or kind of a cry technique. You still recall time we cried. So that's a cry technique. Hey, you still recall time we cried? Break on through to the other side. Break on through. But
break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Everybody loves my baby. Everybody loves my baby. She get high. She get high. She get high. She get higher. She get higher.
you You can hear that bit of a cry in there as well. Shake it. It's almost like he's breaking it. Shake it high. Oh yeah. See, like I'm letting it kind of a little bit of that yodel is, you can hear that in Kurt Cobain a little bit, kind of lets it go into that yodel. She get high. She get high. Oh yeah. Okay, let's move on to Light My Fire.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher.
So he starts off the song very airy and very soft. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, very soft.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
And then eases into a little bit more chord closure. Come on, baby, light my fire. A bit more authoritative.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
And there you can hear a bit of that cry as well. Try to set the night on. Try to set the night on. Almost kind of like just breaking up, a sort of, not breaking up, but that cry. Try to set the night on. Try to set the night on. It's starting off with that airy bit. Let's listen to that again.
Try to set the night on.
Try to set the night on. Try to set the night on. Try to set the night on.
Fire.
Fire.
The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose. And our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Yeah.
On that part, very good with the cry. Fire, yeah. Fire, fire, fire. Okay, so I'm getting a little gravel at the end because that's what, for me, that's one of the Jim Morrison tricks, one of the kind of trademark sounds, and I often put that in there kind of unknowingly, uneven, like not consciously put it in there, but it's just to get that bit more of that feeling of Jim Morrison. Fire! I never heard that before, but that's very indicative of James.
Come on.
James Douglas Morrison, Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
Being a shaman, that's kind of, he's getting into it, he's getting into the recording.
The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose. And our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Yeah. You know that it will be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Try to set the night on fire. to set the night on fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Oh, I love the end of that. Try to set the night on fire. That gravelly distortion to his voice is just incredible. I love it. Okay, so to wrap it up in summary, I think to summarize the sound of Jim Morrison is to get that low larynx position. Kind of the time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only, and come in with that cry. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby. And then good chord closure, good dynamics, and then try to get those screams in there. Fire! Yeah! Fire! Fire! With that cry will help you to get up to that. Fire! Fire! Helps you get that kind of higher part of the sound that you need to get. So I think for me, that's kind of how I tend to try and manipulate my voice to sound a bit more like Jim Morrison. I hope this has helped you. If it had, go ahead and smash the like and the subscribe and hit the bell. Join the Chan band, and I will see you on the next one. Rock your best vocals where your best keeps getting better. Thank you.